And joining us now is award-winning artist David Kahne, who collaborated with Tony Bennett and knew him well, produced 3 of his original albums, and won a Grammy with him. Thank you so much for joining us here, and of course, our deepest condolences to you on the loss of your friend.
Thank you.
Of course. And Dave, you've produced songs and albums with many great artists, but what was it like? What was so uniquely wonderful to work with Tony Bennett?
He was a professional at a level that you don't hardly ever see, maybe 3 or 4 times in your life. We would do a session. I was remembering today on the Here's to the Ladies album, and he wasn't singing his big note at the end, and I realized he was not singing it because the trumpet solo wasn't good, and he was looking at it as an entire performance. And I went and talked to the trumpet player, and the trumpet player did it good, and Tony nailed his big note. We were done. Everybody clapped. He just gave a complete performance, and he knew every single note that he was going to hit, and at the same time, incredibly kind person.
Yeah. What is the memory that you're holding on to the most right now?
The first thing I thought of was that day we were working on You Showed Me the Way. It was an Ella Fitzgerald song, and we'd finished it, and we were in the studio, and he called Ella, and she got on the phone, and she was on the speakers, and said, he played her the song, and she was crying. She said, "Thank you, T, I love you." It was so nice, and thinking of the transfer from her to him to everybody, and how everybody shared, and the level of performance. Just, you don't get to experience that very often, but it was such a touching moment between him and her.
And you're talking about the 2015 album For the Ladies that you worked on him with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful moment, a special memory.
Yes.
Also, you produced a Grammy-winning MTV Unplugged album for Bennett. It was a little different sound for him.
Yes.
What did he think about that project as it was happening, and then to win a Grammy?
He had a blast, and he was, we didn't know what to expect. His son, Danny, helped set that up and has been instrumental in Tony's career, keeping things. He did an amazing job. And we got over there, and the singers started coming out, and then there we were at the Grammys, and it won. But it was great, and it was a great tribute to him and his entire career up to that point. And then he went on to do tons of stuff afterwards, of course.
Yeah, when talking about his voice specifically, I mean, it's something else, right, to wow your own peers. But composer Alec Wilder said that there's a quality about his voice that lets you in. What a beautiful way to describe that. You agree?
Yes. He had that special thing that maybe 4 people have had in my life as singers, where he sounds loud when he's singing very quiet. And it was flawless. Every note you could hear over an entire orchestra, even when he was singing quietly. And there was also his taste. I asked him once about his singing, and he said he used to follow the trombone players, which I thought was interesting because they're more fluid, and that was where his phrasing was from. He wasn't listening to saxophone players. He said trombone players.
Oh, that's interesting. A special ear there, right?
Yes.
His image really was carefully cultivated throughout his life. Tony's family, especially his son Danny, who became his manager, opened up Tony's music to a whole different audience. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I was working at Columbia. I was head of A&R there, and that's when I met Danny and started working with him and Tony. And Danny took the reins and organized everything and did a fantastic job, and Tony was so grateful, and it worked out perfect. All the duets, all the work with Gaga, all the live shows, everything was just masterful, and it made his life so powerful at the end, you know, all the way through.
We're memorializing Tony the musician, of course, but Tony the person. Even former President Barack Obama said, you know, he charmed generations with his music, but he also called him a good man. What do you want people to know about him, the man?
He was sweet to everyone. And if he got frustrated, he always took it upon himself to figure it out. He never acted out on anyone else. And you could be in with a 100-piece orchestra, and he would walk in, and everybody would just feel okay. And if there was a problem, he let it get solved, and he brought it forward in a positive way. He was just a kind to everyone. You know, when you go eat at a restaurant, and he would just be, the waiter or waitress would just feel like, so good. I was with Tony, and it was so wonderful, and they're probably still talking about it today.
I'm sure they are. A lasting legacy, of course. David Kahne, thank you so much for joining us in what I know is a very difficult time for you and all of those who are close to him.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.